Well, everybody, welcome back to the West Ham Network. You've just witnessed West Ham, you could say, destroy Nottingham Forest 4-0 at the London Stadium. Keep your comments coming in. We're going to be going live to the stadium as well. What a fantastic victory for West Ham. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And again, when everything was against us, the results weren't going our way, we don't pick up a victory, we lose a game, the pressure kicks on West Ham, and what happens? We bounce back with a good victory. This isn't just a very, very good victory. This is a fantastic victory. Why? Nottingham Forest are not a hard team to break down. All you need to do is have a look at the game where Nottingham Forest played Man City last week, and they actually did very, very well at closing any of the threats coming forward against them. And West Ham took the game to them. In the first half in particular, for me, it was an extremely dominant performance from us. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. We held the ball, held possession. We broke down their defence. But when it came to the final third, that's where we were struggling. And at half-time, we were sitting there going, how are we actually going to get this ball in the back of the net? I think there was one clear-cut chance, but we couldn't get that actual final ball into the back of the net. But the second half was an absolute dominant performance again. I think Nottingham Forest came out in the second half maybe for 7-8 minutes, had a bit of the ball, bit of possession, trying to penetrate our defence, done all right. But then we just went on a crazy run, a crazy spell of just anything that we touched would have gone into the back of the net. Any threat going forward would have gone into the back of the net. It's easy to get carried away, but I think it's nice to be able to get carried away because we've been due thumping a team. I've always said it, even when, this season, the fine margins, I'm not getting carried away again, please bear with me on this one. Fine margins are a wonderful thing, but today, getting 4 goals at home in front of the West Ham crowd is a massive boost, What's another massive boost is Danny Ings got a brace. He walked away with 2 goals in the space of a minute. I mean, how to turn a game on its head when the pressure is there. Literally 15, 20 minutes to go. We're still 0-0. The going is going against, we're not going against us, but we just can't put that ball in the back of the net. And what happens? A fantastic goal from Danny Ings to make West Ham go 1-0 up. Literally, you couldn't even take a breather. I think I just finished celebrating with my kids and my dad. And then suddenly we've put the ball in the back of the net again, thanks to Danny Ings for a second goal. And then what happens? Declan Rice collects the ball at the edge of the box. In actual fact, what a curling shot, what a curling goal that is from outside there. You can see then the club, the team are feeling confident about what the situation was today. And then we topped it off with our substitute, Mickey Antonio, getting on the score sheet. That's equally as important for West Ham because then you've got 2 of your main strikers getting off this, getting game time, playing game time, having good games and scoring goals. And the difference between a player like Danny Ings, say, no disrespect to Mickey Antonio, but the massive difference with a player like Danny Ings on the park is, I think in total he had about 4 chances in the game today and he's taken 2 of them. And that is what you get when you have an out-and-out striker in your team, a player who likes to get in the box, who gets in the right place at the right time. That is positive. That is a good situation that West Ham need to be in, and we are in. And so I'm absolutely delighted. I think you will be in the chat. Please keep your comments coming in. We are going to be going live to the stadium. We'll get loads of reaction coming from the stadium as well. But all in all, I've walked out this game absolutely delighted. Now, a couple of shout outs to a few players. Paqueta, you know what? He's a fantastic player. He's a phenomenal player. What's interesting is I know for a fact people are going to pick up the fact that he loses the ball a few times when the ball goes forward. But when you are as creative player like he is, you're expected that to happen, because if that doesn't happen, then West Ham could go on and score 10 goals or whatever. But when you're as creative as a player that he is, you can really see he's growing in confidence in this team. And you can see that the partnership that he's built up with Declan Rice is really starting to come into something, definitely starting to come into something. Another shout out I've got to give it is Tommy Soucek, because at the start of the season, he's been getting dug out by many West Ham fans, me included. And I think he stepped up to the plate again today. He played in a more forward role. He was trying to win, be that kind of dynamic, guy who's there to nullify any of the threats that are coming or try and bridge that gap between the midfield and the striker. And I think he did a really reasonable job. The difference with having a player like Tommy Soucek and someone else in there is the creativity. He doesn't come with an abundance of creativity, does he? But he does and is a very, very, decent footballer. And I think that's maybe what David Moyes' tactics was. It was, do you know what? Let's put the pressure onto their defence because we can get at their defence. Let's put some strong men in there because you've got John Joe Shelby. I think we've done all right with the John Joe Shelby situation. We all know on his day he can be a very, very good footballer. But I think West Ham done more than enough to deal with the threat that came at them today. And to be honest, I couldn't really think of massive amounts of threats that came our way today. And what was really refreshing was having players available. That was huge for us, having players available to be in a selection problem that David Moyes may have. Look at your bench and look what happens when you have players available. You can turn to your bench and you've got Fornals, Lanzini, you've got Scamacca, you've got Antonio, you've got that won't be Zuma, but hopefully Zuma next week. You've got Emerson, you've got Creswell, and you know what? It looks like Soufal's picked up a little bit of a knock. And I thought in the first half, Soufal and Bowen were causing bother to the Nottingham Forest team down the right-hand side. I thought Ben Johnson and Ben Rama were causing problems down the left-hand side. So it was a bit of a surprise when I saw Soufal coming off the park. Reckon it's a knock. And if it is a knock, then Creswell came on the park and he started off a bit edgy. You can't deny that. Can't take that away. You got to tell when the player is not playing that well. You can see maybe why he's not been so fortunate enough to be in the team. I think he grew into the game as the game went on, but a massive shout out from me personally. I've been calling for it. I like him, and I don't know how you feel about Ben Johnson, but he played left back and right back today, and I thought he performed really well. Really, really well. He was good at defending. He was good at pushing up forward. And that's a massive positive sign for West Ham moving forward as well. On top of that, Fabianski picked up an injury. There was a collision with, I can't remember the player from Nottingham Forest. And you could blatantly see the issue that Fabianski was having. I think it was right on his kind of eye socket area, but he was trying his best to get up and get available. And he didn't have a huge amount to do. A couple of good catches, routine saves in the game, and then that meant that Areola came off the bench, which many fans would have been calling for. Obviously, you don't want your player to be injured to see that happen, but Areola came off the bench and he didn't have anything to do except for that really, really good save near the end of the game there. I think the ball was going into the top corner and he put his big left hand out, and it was a full stretch save as well, so it was really good save from Areola. All in all, we've scored 4 goals. And that's what we've needed to do. That's the thing we've lacked all season. We've walked away with something we walk away with on a reasonably regular occasion, or we've walked away when we don't and lose games or draw games when we don't concede a lot, because we don't concede a lot of goals. We still don't concede a lot of goals. That's never our problem. It's the problem of going forward and our attacking threat today. And I've got to give a shout out to Ben Rama. I thought Ben Rama had one of his better games again in a West Ham shirt. If I think about his intent was there. He was firing, he was putting the ball into the box, and there were good balls into the box. And I think when he was getting in those positions, he was looking up and seeing maybe Danny Ings was in the box and going, I'll put that ball in there and I'll let Danny Ings do the work he needs to do. So I thought his final third was definitely a lot better today. But for me, I think the Paqueta and Benny linked up really well as well. You could see their vision together, clever thinking, clever ticky-tack football, first touch football. I think I heard the commentator say at one point, Paqueta needs to get more on the ball and stop trying these one-touch passes around the players. But you could see him growing in confidence and players starting to grow in confidence around the quality that he's got. And he has got an abundance of quality. He is really, really quality footballer. And he really dictated play in the middle of the park. Him, Declan Rice, absolutely dictated play in the middle of the park. You never really saw a threat coming through any angle. When the ball went out wide and Nottingham Forest came down the right-hand side, you had enough of a defensive duty there to deal with the threat. The same down the right-hand and left-hand side. And, of course, credit again, Agerd, Augie. I thought actually initially Agerd was having a bit of an iffy game. Not that he was giving the ball away, just or when he was trying his long ball attempts. they were never really getting to anyone. They were never getting to their final person, their final threat. But as the game went on, he grew, and you could see the quality that was oozing out of him. I think at one point he collected the ball. West Ham put ourselves under pressure. We put ourselves under pressure in our own half, but we played the ball out from the back extremely comfortable because Gerd has got the ability to do that. And that's what I like about a player like him. Confidence to bring the ball out from the back and not take on necessarily, but if under threat, has the confidence to take on a player that comes at you. And we have beaten a team that have picked up form as of late. Again, last week, 1-0 with Man City. Absolutely not an easy team to turn up and play against. And we've destroyed them 4-0. And it's a deserved result. Yes, we scored 4 goals in quick succession in the second half. My dad said to me, you never thought that would have been a 4-0 game. But I said to him, do you know what, though? If we came in at 2-0 at half time and had been confident, we could have gone on and scored a few more. So I think the performance, we deserved that. We absolutely deserved that victory 100%. I'm going to jump into the comments because I know Russ is going to be coming on live from the stadium as well. Danny Ings times 2 goals, first start for us. Huge game for him. Huge result for West Ham, but huge to get him off the mark. A brace, really good, and that's what we need. It's a boost in our goal scoring situations as well. Fornals looked sharp and Lanzini did well. Do you know what? I agree with you in terms of Fornals. We definitely sometimes need that energy in the midfield, and he brings that. He really does bring that. And what was interesting was the switch. We switched. We went from the 5 at the back to 4 at the back from one game to the other, and it worked for us today, and that was the key element here. Crosshammer says, I am buzzing, vodka at the ready, and we are safe as houses, mates. Honestly, mate, honestly. Freshfielder Irish Tommy is our lucky mascot. I tell you what our lucky mascot is. Irish Tommy being positive. If you're watching right now, Irish Tommy, if you're still on the other stream, I don't know if you are or not, but Irish Tommy is absolutely, when he's positive, West Ham are, that's it. So I'm going to, me and Russ are going to have a word with you, Tommy, if you are listening, mate. I'm going to change your mindset. Rice's goal was amazing. It was. He took the confidence outside the 18-yard box, on the edge of the box. He looks up. He has a bit of space, and we know he can hit a ball. And he curls it round into the top corner, around all the defenders, away from Navas. No problem at all. And in actual fact, he found himself in a situation in the second half to do it again. But he actually chose not to, and I think he probably could have put the ball in the back of the net as well. All hail our sick note saviour. Ashley Kemp, the players definitely took off the shackles today and played the right way for the team. Never mind Moyes' tactics. Reminded me of the old West Ham 4-0. Absolutely. Budgie's in the house. Hope you're well, Budgie. Screamed like a bloody kid when Antonio nodded in. Oh, hi, everyone. Yeah, do you know what? Massive. It's great for West Ham as a whole, but when you've got your striker coming off the bench and scoring a goal, and he said in the week, like, I need to score a goal. I desperately need to score a goal. That hopefully that will help him as well. Second half in Shelvey was the difference. I'll be honest with you, mate. I thought we nullified any threat. You know, we forced Shelvey. We know Shelvey likes to play long balls. He's done it when he was at Newcastle all his days. He gets the ball from a deep place and he tries to pin perfect passes from like 60, 70 yards. And every single ball we tried today, we were first to the ball, winning it back again. So it's really good. And again, another good thing about today is the fact that we changed the team up and we got a good performance from it. So it's harsh on Emerson, harsh on Kira that they didn't feature. But do you know what? We went ahead and done what we needed to do, which is massive as well. Other than shoulder pain, Crosshammer, I'm good. How are you doing? You're all talking to each other. Scott is saying, huge win. Next week is massive. You can say that again, Scott. Pat Holland fans says onwards and upwards. It absolutely is. Goal difference is like an extra point, and it is. And we've been able to get into situations where we could have made that different, but we have not done it this season. Today will only but help us. And the results as of late have been better. This helps. Everton win. The draws that we've picked up, losing against Spurs will not have helped. Absolutely not. But you get the vibe that there's maybe a little bit of confidence in this squad right now, and they're pulling together, and that's what we want to do. And do you know what? Credit to the fans. You could hear it so clearly from the telly. They were behind the team from minute one as well. Aside from feeling amazing from winning, how do people feel in terms of Moisey? That's another conversation. You can talk to each other if you want as well. Back four worked wonders today. More attack going forward. Absolutely. I was surprised personally. I know people were calling for it, but I was surprised as well. I was depressed, but I'm cured now, Budgie. Hope the pain goes away soon, fella, as well. I know Russ is there, so Russ, just give us a thumbs up, mate, when you're ready to rock and roll. Yep, I'll bring Russ into the stream. Russy boy, how you doing, mate?
Oh dear, we needed, didn't we? We
Oh,
needed that one.
You can say that again, my man. What a bloody result.
Well, it wasn't until about 65 minutes gone, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know if we've lost Russ. He will come back if he does. I'm still here, so I'll keep talking until Russ does pull up a bigger signal. 12th should be our immediate target. I thought the whole squad put a performance in this week as well. From Budgie, Irish Tommy out, hello to all. What a last 20 minutes. Kevin West Ham, the players needed to produce. They did today, and good for Ings. I had tears when Ings scored. What a relief. I tell you what, I picked up my son. I shook him up and down all over the living room. Me and my dad and my little boy were all running around like mental. I looked down at the telly. What happens? Ings has put the ball in the back of the net again. And we're going mental. And I picked up my other son and I started chucking him around the living room as well. Premier League app voted Ings man of the match. You could hear that was the same inside the stadium as well. Russ, talk to me, mate.
Well, as I said, very much a game of 3/3. First 2/3 was trying a lot of huff and puff, but no sort of end product. And then it just went mental. When was the last time we scored 2 goals in like 2 minutes? I can't remember. And then Declan scores, and then Antonio comes on and scores as well. Good goals as well. Good goals.
They were really good goals, Russ. I've been saying that. I've been kind of talking about it. It's easy for us to get carried away when you get a 4-0 victory. I've always felt for a long time that we have been due a thumping of a team, due to thump a team. We haven't done it for a while. The first half, we deserved goals in the first half. We just didn't. It was just typical West Ham this season. We couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Our possessional play, our going forward ability, all that sort of stuff was good. I've already spoken, but I'm going to pass over to you, Russ, because you know I need to head. You know I need to head just now. So I'm going to leave Russ with you. I'm just going to wait for him to get his, make sure his signal's up and running when he's there. Are you definitely there, Russ?
We'll have a go.
But, you know, Russ, I'll leave you with the kind of interesting thoughts. Paqueta's performance today, we've got a really very, very good footballer there. And I think a lot of people, even during the matchday live, were going like, he keeps giving the ball away, but he's that creative player that he will find those little pockets. And that's what you expect from that kind of creative player as well. Ben Johnson stepping up to the plate, getting a good result in and getting a good performance in as well. But on that, I'm leaving you. Russ is all alone. Enjoy it. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons. Right, okay, so let me bring up the chat because I can't look at the chat. Right, okay, this is not going to work. Okay, right, comments. Can we see the chat? Right, I'm coming back on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to come back on. I'm going to go so I can see some comments. I'll be back. And just like that, he's back. Sorry, I was on the wrong thing. I was on the I'm talking to Anton rather than necessarily anything else. Let's have a few comments. Freshfielder, stand still. I'm trying to, but I need to get home as well. I think that team will give Brighton a game of bloody well oats.
Oh, is he back?
Bloody well oats, though.
He's back.
All right, I told you. I was on the wrong bloody thing. I didn't realise you. So anyway, go back off. Happy time, thank God. It's a happy weekend. I popped into the shops. And came back and we were 3-0 up. Yes, 3 very quick goals in succession. Danny Ings with 2. And a great goal from Declan Rice. Opens up his body, curls in beautifully. Antonio as well with a great header. Good cross from Fornals. Nice to see the likes of Lanzini get some game time as well. all in all, was a good day at the office. And how many times have we said that recently? Not a lot. Not a lot at all, which is a real shame. But hopefully, I mean, what did they say? One swallow doesn't a summer make. Hasn't it's not the answer. It's not the, we're not safe, but it's a start. It's a start, and we needed a start. We needed some sort of kick, something to kick off and go, and something we can now build on. A scrappy 1-0 win, we would have won. Would have been great, but 4 goals. And what was nice to see the players smile. Nice to see them smiling. They were all smiling, particularly, I mean, in the 3rd goal and then the 4th goal, you could see them, just the whole mood of the side. It shows not necessarily how fragile, but how on edge they were. Once those first couple of goals went in, you could see everyone just relax a little bit. We were desperately trying to get a goal, particularly because they knew we were so trying to get forward in that first half, particularly. We really tried that first half and we weren't getting anything. And you thought, oh, same old. Exactly what would happen. We'd end up having we'd be on a counter-attack and bloody Chris would score, and you knew it was going to happen. And we just seemed completely. Holly's just sent through her video, and she's forgot to mention tomorrow we're going to have the next episode of Tweet All About It. I'll say it now because she's done it. Mrs. Lanzini would be happy, obviously, because of her boy got a few minutes. Fabianski obviously taking a knock. Looked like he got his eye, broke his eye socket or something like that, or knocked it or bruised it, because that was quite a nasty one. Areola comes on. It's great that we've got the substitutions to do that now. Budgie says the truth is, Russ, the boys were smiling and were motivated. Never questioned their motivation, but they were smiling, and particularly towards the end, you could just see almost like a relief go across their face, which was really nice to see. Lord, so I'm on the thing. We've got Super Davey boys. Yeah, fair enough, Lord. He played boys tactics against us. That didn't work. I thought I wasn't particularly impressed by Forest at all, to be fair, particularly second half. I think there, you can see when we had Craig on speaking about the game, the Nottingham Forest fan, he just said away from home they're not great, and you got that sense. I mean, they've got enough in their squad to keep them up in terms of their home form, but we've had 9 games this calendar year, and only 3 have been at home. And that might be a big reason why. The crowd, you could see the crowd got behind them. It was so much more enjoyable. And it wasn't like a 1-0 win and then we're hanging on at the end and hopefully we'll squeeze it out. It was comprehensive. And that's the first time for a season we've had a comprehensive victory like that, I reckon. We used to have... What we got here, out of the bottom 3, huge report, and a clean sheet. You're right, and also 4 goals. It always helps for the goal difference. We've already got a good goal difference, but it always helps us even more. As I said, it's as good as a point, that goal difference. But yeah, I was impressed. I thought, Benny tried. I think Benny tried, but didn't have a great game. I thought Paqueta was excellent. I thought he was really, really just involved in everything. He was involved in the attacking play, the defensive play. He's got a lovely touch. Obviously, he's a Brazilian international, Rush, you bloody idiot. But he's got a lovely touch and you saw some lovely passes. There was one pass in the first half where he did a little 1-2 with Ben Rama, and he literally passed it straight into his eye line, straight into it. Almost Ben Rama didn't have to stop stride at all, which I thought was really, really fantastic. And it's great, yeah. And then at the end, as Budgie said, we even did some Olays, which, again, considering the season we've had, to the fans doing some Olays towards the end, yes, it was a strange one. Glenn Johnson, I thought, had a good game. Actually, I'm going to take this off. Glenn Johnson had a good game, I thought. Ben Johnson, bless him, had to go from left back to right back. I'll be interested to find out what that was about. Soufal maybe took a knock. Cress was being warmed up very, very early on in the second half. in the half-time bit, so maybe he took a knock. Great for Kieran as well. Scottish Kieran. Aussie's Kieran was over here today with his son, so great to see them see a good win. And as Pat Holland said, let's go on with it now. He needs to ensure mood and momentum is maintained. He does indeed. Obviously, then we've got the cup game coming up. Man United, I imagine a lot of the bench, very strong bench as well. Be interested to see what happens with Fabianski, if he was injured or not, because maybe it means that he would necessarily, because obviously Areola would be between the sticks next week for the Man United game. So depends what happens there. But yeah, it was all good. It was all good. In the chat, be interested to know who was your man of the match today. I'd be interested to know in the chat who your man of the match was. Let us know. Let us know. We'll be doing the ratings, of course, on Monday. I'd be interested to see who the consensus was in terms of who the man of the match was. They gave it to Ings. He scored 2 goals. He worked tirelessly, but I thought it was. And again, as we assumed, he was isolated. Really, wasn't he? He was isolated man of the match. Areola, Ings. Michael says Ings as well. He scored 2 goals. I thought he looked isolated, and I thought there was a bit of worry. Slight concern that they put Souček sort of up top with him rather than Skamaka. But by all accounts, Skamaka wasn't fit enough to start, so he started on the bench. And then, obviously, no Zuma. I imagine he'll probably get some minutes next week. Did you know that Ings ran 9k? Wow. Fantastic. Fair play to Ings. He worked tirelessly, he really did. Paqueta man of the match for Calcazé. What we got there? Danny Ings. What else we got? Who else? Aged. Thought Aged was strong. Again, playing not in his obvious position, playing on the right-hand side of the back two, rather than left-hand side to accommodate for Oggy. Thought Cresswell came on and had a mare straight away, but he managed to do it. Strange that when you attack, you create. When you create, you score. Exactly. That's what we were saying in the matchday morning bit this morning. They needed a change. Whether that change was a change in manager, whether that change was a change in formation, and that's what we had today. We had a change in formation, and it was from the off. You could see the boys were up for it. Huffed and puffed quite a lot in the first half, and I thought we was getting a bit worried towards the end. We might not have got anything at all, but hey ho, we ended up picking up the 3 points with 4 goals, which was lovely. Rice ran 11k. Wow. Rice, Ings. Hell of a win, guys. Hell of a win. Hopefully, as we said, now it's a case of kicking on. Now it's a case of what next? Hopefully, Muscaraku is right to start, plays him and Ings together and keeps attacking. Well, I think obviously, in terms of the way we were set up today, Souček was playing that sort of Fellaini role, wasn't it, to be honest? That second striker role, it seemed. So hopefully, he would come in instead of Souček. I thought Souček tried really hard today. I thought he played really well. I thought him, Rice, and Paqueta was nice as a sort of midfield 3, just as Mark says as it comes up. Lord Patrick, you're more than welcome. We do this every game for anyone who's new. Subscribe, all that type of good stuff. Obviously, we've got what's in the cup coming up very, very soon. We've got Man United next week. Next week? Yeah, Man United Cup next week. And then we start all over again. But it's about momentum now, isn't it? It's about going into that game and keeping this feeling going. It's nice to actually not have a win where we feel like we've held on for the last 15 minutes. That wasn't the case today at all. And that was really nice. Ash has got to play a strike all the time. I mean, you look at Ings' goals, both of them were in the 6-yard box, which is something which we desperately needed. The amount of times, and to be honest, first half, he should have got a couple as well, in all honesty. The header which went very wide. That was a glaring chance. And when he sort of hit the post in the first half, and don't forget, obviously in the second half, you had Bowen hit the post with a long range shot as well. So it wasn't just those 4 goals. You know, on another day, a lot of those would have got in. Garino says Rice, Benny, Paqueta all did their jobs, but shout out to Oggy for that second half challenge. Yeah, he did. And I was a bit concerned when the side came up. I thought Oggy would work well in the back 3, but I thought back 2, is he a bit too old? But he did the job. Fair play to him. Suchek was wasted corners, needs to attack the ball. What was interesting, actually, when they brought on Cresswell for the second half, he then went to take the corners on the left-hand side, which I think he whipped him in. Well, I thought corner-wise, they weren't too bad. I thought Bowen's corners were quite good today. Can't understand why Suchek was on the goalie for every corner. Well, because Antonio wasn't there. That's Antonio's job, isn't it, really? He sits on the goalkeeper, really, but he's not there. We had 18 shots, 5 on target. Is that more than the last 4 games in terms of on-target shots? I swear we've had like 3 or 4 in the last 4 games. Bowen does not stop running. What does he eat? Well, he's going to have no energy in a few weeks' time when Danny drops the twins, isn't it? And they said Ings has never scored a hat-trick. He keeps playing like he did. He might do. Wow. Great stuff. Great stuff, peeps. Anyway, so I'm trying to walk back to the car park subtly as we go along. Hey, Gary! Gary Brown, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Man of the match.
I actually thought that Jono did really well today.
Yeah, good shout.
Unfashionable, but yeah.
Good to see you, man. You all right? Just having a little catch up. Having a little work catch up, don't worry. Isn't it nice to win a proper game, like not sort of like eke one out?
I feel like that's been in the tank for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
For about a year, isn't it? About a year, I reckon. Since Liverpool at home, about November last year. Yeah. That was good, man. Paqueta, I was impressed. I thought
he did well.
He did well.
All right.
And Danny Ings, anyway.
I've
nice
got
to
to
see.
train.
Go on, take care, boys. Anywho, yes. So, sorry, that was an old work colleague of mine, West Ham fan. I got him his first job outside university. Anyway, what we got here? Sitting on the goalkeeper's Kevin's coaching tactic. It certainly is. Anyway, I was going to sign off until then. I've got to go. We'll have reactions. That'll be coming up later on tonight. We also got Tweet All About It. That'll be coming out tomorrow. And then we start. What we got Monday? We've got the rating show. Then we start all over again. Enjoy your Saturday night. Ant and Deck's back on the telly tonight if you're interested. Enjoy your curry if you're having a takeaway. I'm going to have a bloody curry tonight. Celebratory curry. And I'm going to enjoy this for once. And hope you guys enjoy it too. We had not much to cheer about this season. So hopefully it's the start of hopefully. But as I said, one swallow doesn't a summer make. Very good point. Just, it's only just the first step in the process. So hopefully we'll keep this momentum going into the Man United game in the Cup and then everything else. Sounds good, isn't it? All right. Take care. Stay safe. See you all soon. If you're new around here, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care, my friends. Enjoy your Saturday night. Bye-bye. Peace out.